Hello boys and girls, people of the human race. I am here with my first ever video. It is a BTS unpopular opinions video because I'm basic like that and because I got so tired of watching other people's I had to make one myself. I'd like to start off by saying that if you get offended, deal with it. It's my opinion and I'm not here to force it on anyone. This video is really long but I tried to actually explain my opinions, so please watch the whole thing. It takes a minute for it to get spicy but I promise it does. 1. BTS are not perfect. Let's start with an obvious one, shall we? They are not the best group to ever exist, and there are other groups out there that are just as good if not better. They are just 7 people who have talent. They are not magical or all-knowing and obviously cannot be the best at singing, dancing, and rapping all the time. They are definitely good at all three but that does not make them the best. Admitting that isn't the end of the world. You can still stand them and think they are really good but you have to acknowledge they cannot always be the best. 2. The rap line is the strongest line. The BTS rap line is one of the best in K-pop, and is the strongest line in BTS. Namjoon, Hoseok and Yoongi are really diverse, have their own distinct styles and don't sound like each other at all. You cannot find another sound like that in K-pop. While in the vocal line Taehyung is the only one with a truly unique voice. Obviously to someone who has liked BTS for a long time it is very difficult to confuse BTS's voices. But objectively if they all put on masks and were shuffled around with a bunch of other random singers, we would have a hard time finding them. By no means am I trying to say that the vocal line is untalented, cause that's just false. We stand for kings like holy funking hell. But I have to admit that a lot of the time their live vocals are underwhelming. Whether it's because they are tired, because they didn't have a lot of time to practice, or because they are stressed. While the rap line is usually able to deliver A+ performances more consistently, as well as usually having more stage presence. Especially in comparison to groups like EXO, whose live vocals are just impossibly good. BTS's vocal line isn't their strongest aspect. You also have to take into consideration that they were originally formed to be a hip-hop group, which means more rapping and dancing than singing, especially in the beginning. And now that BTS has evolved into more pop-sounding stuff, you can tell that singing isn't their strongest line. They have worked really hard to be where they are, and you can hear the improvement in their voices, so obviously they have become a lot better. Again, I'm not trying to say the vocal line isn't talented. I'm trying to say that the rap line is more consistent. BTS are allowed to make mistakes cause they are human. The rap line is just stronger in my opinion. I will also take this time to add people who sleep on Namjoon are losing out on so much and all I can say is I feel sorry for you. I will admit that when I first listened to Mono I didn't like it. I had to listen to it a few times before it grew on me, but in my opinion really good music doesn't have to be a hit from the first time you listen to it. Namjoon's rap style is so unique and he is an amazing songwriter. Every song on Mono slaps in a different and it is an overall masterpiece. 3. Taehyung doesn't belong in the dance line. Before y'all get angry, by no means am I saying that he is a bad dancer. I just find it odd that they added him up to singularity just because he danced well. If he couldn't dance he wouldn't be in BTS. Jimin, Hoseok, and Jungkook all had formal dance training and excel at dancing more than the other areas, especially Jimin. I'm sorry my baby, I still love you. I just don't really see the point. Taehyung is a stronger vocal than a dancer, so what I'm saying is if Big Hit is going to add Taehyung to the dance line they might as well add Hoseok to the vocal line. It seemed unnecessary and extra to me. 4. LY. Her is one of their best albums. I can hear people yelling already. I don't think that DNA is one of their best songs. But every single funking song on Her is a bop and could have been the title song. Every song is iconic. They have past albums that most average fans couldn't name all the songs on, and probably skip most of anyways. Sure, LY Her is a mini album, but it is basically the same length minus 1 or 2 songs as all their other albums. Go Go, Best of Me, Mic Drop, Pied Piper, DNA, Her, Dimple, and Serendipity are all absolute bops and anyone who says otherwise is just wrong. You cannot tell me a single one of those songs isn't an iconic BTS song. Wrong opinions exist and if you can't accept that Her is a great album your opinion is wrong. Sorry not sorry. But DNA really does not deserve the hate it gets. You'll need to lay off. So what if it sounds a little generic? It's catchy and sounds like a title song. They all looked poppin' during that era and it was just A class. Whether you like it or not, Her is an iconic era. 5. Tear is my favorite album. Few more angry yelling. I will try to explain it as best I can. It might just be because I sold my soul to the truth untold the second I heard it and there was no going back. Fake Love is a bop and so are the rest of them. But outro. Tear is one of my fave rap line songs. I don't like So What, and 134340, Paradise, Love Maze, and Magic Shop aren't that memorable. But the reason I like LY Tear the best is because I think the album itself flows the best out of all their albums and the songs go in a very logical order. The lyrics are all amazing and just A class. Fake Love might not be their best title track, but LY Tear is kind of genius. 6. BTS and a bunch of babies. I can't believe I have to say this, but there will always be people out there who still think they have a right to baby BTS. Of course they are under a company, so not 100% of the things they do are their choice, but they have working brains and can think for themselves, so you can't claim they don't know anything. They have been around for long enough and have enough power that if they are super uncomfortable with something, they probably don't have to do it most of the time. They are all 20-something-year-old grown-ass men capable of making their own decisions, and if you think that as a fan your job is to baby them or defend them 24/7 for stuff they consciously did, y'all are in the wrong. I'm gonna use this point to talk about their collabs. When they announced their collab with Halsey, a lot of armies threw a fit 'cause she is problematic. Well, sorry to tell you sis, literally everyone can be called problematic these days. By calling Halsey problematic but continuing to stan BTS, you look like an idiot because BTS has done plenty of shit you'd also consider problematic, and if it was done by literally anyone else y'all would come for them. Also the whole Taehyung vaping incident. That was funking insane and I had so many arguments with people over it. It tore apart friend groups. First of all, I hate smoking of any kind and I do not support or even tolerate any of it whatsoever. That said, I would like to repeat that Taehyung is a grown-ass man and he can do whatever the funk he wants with his money and his body. BTS are not children. BTS are not your children. You do not know them. They are not in any way related to you or have anything to do with you. Therefore you have no influence over what they want to do on their own time. And the fact that it wasn't even a vape but a pastel holder says a lot about the fandom. I am genuinely worried for what's going to happen when they want to date, or when another one of them wants to get a tattoo. Because y'all go around acting entitled as funk and it makes me sick. Leave BTS alone. 7. BTS aren't required to interact with TXT. BTS don't have to constantly talk or be with TXT, especially because both groups are extremely busy and don't have time to hang out together. They don't have to be family or friends or even like each other. They have nothing, repeat after me, absolutely nothing to do with each other. TXT aren't special because they are under big hit, and they should be treated as any other rookie group. I don't see y'all making a big deal out of other rookie groups hanging out with senior groups from other entertainment companies, or making a big deal out of it when they don't hang out together. So stop making a big deal out of it with TXT and BTS. 8. BTS shouldn't get pardoned from the army. Yeah, it'd be nice if they did, but on the other hand it's also really selfish to ask for that. It's a duty to their country that every other person has to do, and it would be unfair to BTS if they wanted to do it. Like I've said before, BTS are grown-ass men capable of making their own decisions, and as fans we have no right to ask them to do things just because we want something from them. Going to the army is probably a much-needed break for BTS, considering they would probably get assigned something less difficult as there is less chance of them getting injured and compromising their career. Also, I have to add that it would be unfair to all the other male idols out there. Just because the other groups don't make as much money or have as big a fan base doesn't mean they don't put as much work into their jobs as BTS does. Life isn't fair, but asking BTS to not serve their country and instead just get used to make the Korean economy more money is ignorant and selfish. Going to the army isn't the end of the world. It's a year and a half and they are going to come back. So calm down. 9. Boy with Love is simple for a reason. If you actually bothered to read the lyrics or watch the DK TV explanation of the video, you'd understand that it's like that on purpose. Namjoon also said it in an interview, so before you start coming at BTS for not making it as deep as their other songs, just stop and think about it for a sec. Not everything BTS puts out has to be serious and dark. And if you think so, then that's on you. It's a simple song dedicated to armies everywhere that expresses their love for us ungrateful bitches. It's meant to be simple so that we can sing, dance, and enjoy it along with BTS. Just stop and think about it for a sec before you judge. 10. People should be able to dislike BTS without receiving so much hate. Armies are so quick to judge and spew all their own opinions when it comes to both BTS and other groups, but the second someone else says anything slightly critical, you'll jump on this bandwagon of hate and make it impossible for healthy discussions to occur. The reason everyone thinks the BTS fandom is the most toxic is because we take everything so seriously and we can't take a joke. I'm sure you'll have seen that K-pop tweet, and if you thought the army's response was appropriate, please pause and rethink your life. I will leave some time here to do so. Good. Moving on. 11. BTS weren't the first K-pop band in the West and they won't be the last. Yeah, obviously no other K-pop band has broken into the Western markets to such a degree as BTS before, but people have to stop acting like it is some kind of once-in-a-lifetime event. I'm very proud of what they have accomplished, but we must also be ready for other groups to follow, because BTS isn't the only K-pop group out there, and is not the only good one either. There are many groups out there with huge fan bases, and it's important that we support those other groups when they break into the Western market too. When Monster X came to the US and the interviewer asked them about BTS, we have to recognize that is in no way okay, and even if you don't like or don't listen to Monster X, we international armies should still welcome them respectfully. 12. Army needs to pipe the funk down. It would be nice for BTS to win awards for things other than stuff related to the fan base, but I honestly don't think people are ready for that yet, since Army is so crazy that we are more famous than BTS themselves. Remember when people used to make fun of believers for basically worshipping the ground Justin walked on? We have become those crazy fans, because armies are convinced they own BTS or something, and take everything so seriously that everyone makes fun of us for it. We are part of the reason K-pop has such a negative connotation to a lot of people. People aren't bothered by the music itself, they are bothered by the crazy fans. So in order for Western markets to start recognizing BTS as actual talent, and put in the effort instead of just using them for publicity because the media knows we will watch anything with BTS in it, we need to stop and think for a second. Supporting ignorance is not the way to go, boys and girls. 13. BTS doesn't need to dominate the Western markets. In case you weren't aware, BTS is a K-pop band. They are Korean. They sing in Korean. They speak Korean. And they were originally based in Korea. If they don't win a Grammy, or go on every single American talk show, it's not the end of the world. They don't have to be number one on Billboard, or collab with Western artists. And please, for the love of God, they do not have to release anything in English. It makes sense that they target more of their stuff towards Korean-speaking audiences. They are Korean. It's nice they are learning English, and it's nice they go on tour in the US and in Europe, but that also increases their workload. That said, Big Hit removing translated Bangtan bombs and other videos people put a lot of effort into was a dick move, and I don't support that at all, especially since they haven't put any effort into adding English subs, or any other language for that matter. 14. Stop comparing BTS to the Beatles. This is more just a pet peeve of mine, but I decided to include it. Every time I hear it in an interview I cringe. Why? Just why? Like obviously when people say that they mean the crazy fans, but even then it's a totally different age. That was 50 years ago. In general, why do people feel the need to compare things all the time? BTS are their one thing. They are separate from TXT. They are separate from EXO and NCT and Monster X and everyone else. I know I did some comparing myself here, but just stop comparing BTS to the Beatles. It makes BTS visibly uncomfortable. 15. The Jimin Atom Bomb shirt controversy was taken way out of hand. I was hesitant to share this opinion cause the internet is a scary place and I didn't know how people would take it. But this is an unpopular opinions video, so here I am. I want to start by saying that I am neither Korean nor Japanese, so I will never understand it fully, but as an outsider who witnessed it all go down, and having done some research before making this video, I want to offer my own interpretation. First of all, Jimin's own views don't represent the whole of BTS's or big hits, so the fact that it was blown way past just Jimin himself, and the Japanese TV station felt the need to cancel their appearance doesn't make much sense to me. It would have been different had he been in Japan at the time of wearing the shirt, or if he was a solo artist, which would have been worse. It's still unclear when he even wore it. Some Korean sources claim he wore it on Korean Independence Day, which is in March, while others say the picture was from August. Also, a shirt is a shirt. Because he is famous, he should be more conscious of what he wears, but he did not openly criticize Japan or participate in anti-Japanese activities. Furthermore, I highly doubt Jimin purposefully wore the shirt to anger anyone. BTS has an insane amount of Japanese fans. They release albums specifically targeted for Japanese armies, and book a lot of concert venues in Japan. So, on the one hand, it was a dumb thing for him to wear, but also, given the situation, he probably didn't wear it with the purpose of making anyone angry. People made such a big deal out of it. I know people who refuse to reblog Jimin related content because they are salty about what happened, which is just a tad stupid. If you take everything personally, you will never get anywhere in life. I know what I sound harsh, but I'm stuffing my sentences with filler words to soften the blow. You asked for unpopular opinions, so I delivered. Moving on. 16. We don't deserve BTS. Time and time again BTS goes on and on about how amazing and supportive armies are, and yet here we are bashing them and criticizing them for how they breathe air. They are human beings. They are allowed to make mistakes, do the things they enjoy, take time for themselves, be themselves, do whatever the funk they want. They don't have to update Twitter every day. They don't have to put out deep songs every 6 months. And yet, they do. You'll act like spoiled children who have to get their way every time. BTS put out so much content and you'll still want more. There are groups out there who are neglected and ignored by their companies, who have a comeback once a year or less. You'll seriously need to chill. BTS works so hard to please us and make us happy, and you can see how much we mean to them. 17. BTS doesn't owe us anything. They don't have to go on tours, or release extra content outside of music videos, or even release music videos at all. They don't have to be active on Twitter or have fansins or make run episodes. They don't have to release merch or have festas or go on talk shows. They don't have to have a certain haircut, wear certain makeup, or be a certain weight. I could go on. They could just release songs on SoundCloud and leave it at that. There's a difference between being a bad person and selling your soul to your fans. Take Hosier. He released a bomb-ass album, disappeared for 5 years, and then came back with a bomb-ass album. We have nothing to do with BTS's creative process. If they release a song you don't like, so be it. The fact that they feel it's good enough to put out, especially now that their audience is so big, is honestly amazing. And really, they shouldn't feel pressured to make more generic music just so it appeals to more people. But that doesn't matter, because they are grown-ass men and they can do whatever they want. BTS doesn't have to constantly be there. They need to take breaks. BTS deserves to take breaks after all the hard work they put in to satisfy us and make us happy. They try so hard for us. So just take a chill pill, appreciate what's literally right in front of you for a second, and go take a walk. Finally. 18. There's no such thing as a true BTS fan. You are allowed to like some songs and dislike others. You are allowed to not have seen every single video they ever released. Not everyone is lucky enough to go to a BTS concert. Not everyone is lucky enough to have official merch. I don't listen to a lot of their older music. I've never watched American Hustle live. I open Twitter like once a month. I don't pay for a VLive membership. I haven't been to a BTS concert. I listen to other groups too, as well as non-K-pop music. No matter who you are enough. You are enough. In conclusion, I'm stuck so far up BTS's ass that I eat up everything they put out like I've never heard music before. I am an anti-vax mom and BTS is a piece of grass I found on the side of the road I will heal my child with. I think I have made my point. Anyways, that is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't take it personally. Or do. I don't control anyone but myself.